This video is going to show you how to boot the Hiltux 1.8 LiveUSB on a Windows 7 computer. This is slightly different from a Windows 8 computer. In some ways it's simpler, but you'll see some differences if you compare it to a Windows 8 computer. The first thing you'll notice here is that while my monitor is turned on and my speakers are turned on, the computer is turned off. That's where we want to start to get ready to boot the Hiltux LiveUSB. And also as preparation, I'm going to unplug any USB peripherals such as a printer, or if you have a webcam, or in this case I've got an external hard drive. Instead of unplugging that, since it would be kind of cumbersome to do that, I've turned it off. So you want to turn off any USB peripherals. Now why do you do that? It makes the boot process more trouble-free, and it makes it go faster. If you don't have USB devices that you're not going to use in your regular operation of the system for Hiltux. Now the webcam is an exception to that, but we unplug that just because it makes Hiltux detect the hardware more cleanly, and we're going to plug that back in once the system boots up into the Hilton at Home environment. So that's the first thing you want to do. Next, you're going to want to take your Hiltux thumb drive that you've prepared in a previous step. This is a SanDisk Cruiser 4 gig, but yours might of course be different from this one. And we're going to plug that into an available USB slot here. And this is a gateway computer. Different computers are going to have different keys that you're going to want to press to get the boot menu. Normally Windows is going to want to boot up off the hard drive, but if we want to boot off the thumb drive, we've got to get its attention when it's booting. And we're going to go ahead and power up, and I'm going to show you that. Press the power key to turn it on, and as the computer is coming on, you're going to notice that it's going to display a message here telling me what key to press to get the boot menu or the setup menu. In this case, on this gateway, the key to press was F12. It may be different on your computer. Some of them use F9, some of them use the escape key. I've seen the delete key used on some of them. It just depends on the make and model of your computer. But we pressed F12 and up popped the boot menu, and you can see a list of devices that the system thinks may be bootable. In this case, you can see the SanDisk Cruiser listed a couple of times. You can see my hard drive listed here once, and you can see a DVD drive also. Any of these may be bootable. Well, why is the SanDisk Cruiser listed twice? That's because some Windows 7 computers are Windows 8 ready. Now that doesn't mean that they support all the features of Windows 8. In this particular case, I know that this computer does not support secure boot, so it's not completely Windows 8 ready or compatible. For that reason, on a Windows 7 computer, we're going to always choose the option that does not say UEFI. That's going to most likely be more successful than trying to use the UEFI option. If it were a Windows 8 computer, we would use the UEFI boot option. But we're going to choose the one here. In this case, it's the third one on the list, just the regular SanDisk Cruiser. We're going to press enter. It's going to bring up another menu here that I'm going to go ahead and press the 1 key to stop it. What the system is now asking for is what format or method does your computer use to store the computer clock when it's turned off? Most Windows PCs store the computer clock in local time, which just means whatever the time is, that's the way it stores it. An alternate exists where the computer stores it in something called UTC time. That's option number 2. If we didn't select anything here, then it would just go ahead and boot with a default, which is option 1, where your computer is assumed to use the local time. But if you have a Mac, or your computer does not use local time, most likely because you booted it once and you noticed that it had the wrong time on it when it came up, that would be a sign that you need to use the other option. Number 3, to boot to the command prompt, is only used if the help desk requests for you to use that. So we're going to use option number 1 here, since this is a Windows PC and it's I know that it does store the clock in local time. We're going to hit enter, and up pops the Hiltux Penguin with some text, and it's going to clear the screen a couple of times, some smaller text, and we get a graphical environment with the mouse pointer here, and then after a few seconds up pops the Hilton at Home desktop, and you heard the music there, which indicates that the LiveUSB has successfully booted. Now the only other thing that we want to do here, just as a check, you don't have to do this every time, but you can come down here to the system tray and you can see the clock. It's kind of hard to read this on the screen. I'll go ahead and pop up the adjust date and time option here, and you can see that it shows 10:08 a.m., which is the correct time. So that means that is the correct option. You don't have to check this every time. I'm just showing this for illustration. But the last thing that we're going to want to do is, if you've got any USB peripherals that you're going to use, such as a webcam, you want to go ahead and plug those in. So there's my webcam, and we're all set to go. And with that, that ends this video. Thank you very much.